morning. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Margaret Mead. This month's theme of inclusion brought to mind this past summer when I briefly felt American in an entirely new way. In some ways, I felt myself to be part of America for the first time ever. Like so many others, I couldn't help but get caught up in the groundswell of support for Kamala Harris. Then we found a way to live stream the Democratic National Convention. I was extra all in. It seemed like all the groups that were marginalized before were now in the center, and they were waving American flags. The American flag now represented me also. My partner and I watched rapidly and always noticed the rainbow flags. It felt like I was watching a movie, though, something that was fiction rather than fact. It wasn't until the next morning that I let myself get emotional. I had been marginalized for so long that I had become used to it and had accepted it as reality. Now it seems Kamala Harris and her running mate Tim Walz were going to help America turn the page and enter a new era. The alternative was so repulsive that I couldn't even imagine it. When the worst had happened and patriarchy had won again, proving this to be an extremely racist and sexist country, I was so disgusted that I immediately shut off the news, knowing how the media profits from stirring up anxiety. It was in this period, immediately following the election, that I realized that what changed couldn't be reversed. After all, many millions of people voted for Kamala and him. I am now part of a new community of allies who are joyous warriors united behind Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. I'm still part of the fabric of America, regardless. But sometimes I find myself feeling betrayed, angry, or both. I have to remind myself that we as a country have still moved forward despite also having moved back. In 2016, I had gone straight to anger. This time, I went straight to survival mode. One of the first things I said to my partner after expressing disbelief that so many had voted against their own interests is that the difference between this time and 2016 is that we are now healthy vegans. She agreed. Yes, it is very good to be alive. Let's start there. Every day I am thankful that I am alive and well. Please pause and take a breath with me. There is something wonderful about being alive. regardless of everything else. And after 5 years of being a healthy vegan, it strikes me as just common sense that what we eat affects our health. And being healthy is a radical act, now more than ever. For instance, I have to be here to fight for my own rights and for the rights of others. Actually, it wouldn't surprise me to see a spike in the number of people becoming healthy vegans. Given the scientific proof of the health benefits and the threat of an already overburdened healthcare system becoming worse. And as people turn inward, it makes sense that many will realize they feel better without the suffering of animals in their bodies. Still, there is and will be a lot to deal with. As a 65-year-old lesbian who came out in my early 20s, I have been through a few things. As the saying goes, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. At this point, I am very strong. It could be that I always lived my life by this saying, but now it feels truer than ever. After a near fatal illness and going to a healthy plant-based diet 5 years ago, I am now taking care of my mind as well as my body. I still have not turned the news back on, and as a result, I feel great. Detaching from the news, or the olds, as I have heard it described, and tuning into myself more does not mean that I have my head in the sand. I have doubled down on my healthy lifestyle, leading to more compassion in my life. I now think of myself as a compassion warrior. As part of my determination, I have a renewed commitment to this church and hearing about what I can still do to change the world. And working to help the most vulnerable, particularly through our food cupboard and our community garden, which Mayor Nurek will be discussing today in the social justice meeting. It takes courage to be ourselves and to help others. There is no silver lining in the outcome, but I'm determined to be as strong as possible to help others as well as myself. Namaste.